It's official. Jim Harbaugh is 0-5 against Ohio State, and just when these Wolverines were on the uptick, that momentum completely seized as soon as the Buckeyes walked into the Big House earlier this afternoon, and the Wolverines didn't even see it coming.
I didn't see this coming. We just didn't execute like we wanted to. It's whatever.
Just made too many mistakes, too many drops, not getting a rhythm, not executing like we have been in the past couple games.
It wasn't too much talking going on. Coach Harbaugh just told us to keep our composure and get ready for this bowl game. It wasn't too critical on anybody.
Yeah, there's some mistakes. I'm not going into the, criticizing and blaming and things like that. But there were, we dropped some coverages, left some guys open, uncovered.
There's a streak. It's a bunch of individual games, and they've been able to continue it on for the last 7-8 years, and we just weren't able to execute. As you said, execution plays a big role, the biggest role in fact, and we just weren't able to do that today.
No one's happy. Definitely really frustrating, especially for the seniors. But it's just kind of the same thing every year. Got to execute better, and it gets old, but just got to play better against them.
I'm now joined by Isaiah Hull, lead publisher of Wolverines Wire, powered by USA Today Sports. You were there. You were watching the game from the sidelines, just like I was the entire game. What stood out to you first off from just not being able to really sit down and watch all the film and dive into these stats so far?
Well, number one, Ohio State is really talented. I mean, they're number one in the country for a reason, and I don't think you can take that away from them. When you look at what J.K. Dobbins in particular was able to do to them, really gashed Michigan in the run game in a way that we haven't seen in quite a long time. And we saw Jonathan Taylor do it. J.K. Dobbins kind of took it to the next level. We talked to the Michigan players afterwards, and they said, we didn't see anything any different. We just did not execute, and that's pretty much what I saw. They managed to not really they'd get hands on him, and Dobbins would score through. He's a really great patient runner, and that's it's really difficult to do much when it comes to that. Otherwise, I thought the offense, Michigan's offense, kind of looked like what we thought that they would look like. They kind of made Ohio State's number one ranked defense look relatively pedestrian for much of the game, but somewhere there in the third quarter, I don't know if it was the second quarter fumble, if there was a lack of confidence that was coming out of the offense, but Shea Patterson threw 8 passes in a row, 8 incompletions in a row in the third quarter. 7 of them were catchable, 7 of them were dropped by Michigan receivers. Hit either in the chest or on the hands. You're not going to be able to beat a team like Ohio State. You're not going to be able to contend with a team like Ohio State if you keep on having those types of issues. That was kind of Michigan's thing, was the lack of execution. Yes, it's pretty clear that there is a talent gap, but to me, really, lack of execution is what really stood out to me with Michigan, because there were plays there on the offensive side of the ball. They didn't have a very amazing rushing stat line, but they didn't really try to run the ball. They still had more than 3 yards per carry in this game, 3.5 yards, and that's even with including sacks. But passing the ball, Shea Patterson had 305 yards. His stat line doesn't look great because beyond that, because he was, I think, 11 for 43 or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but it didn't look very good because his receivers really quite literally dropped the ball pretty continuously.
These Wolverines are looking forward to a bowl game. That's what they're remaining composed for. I know it's a little bit earlier, but bowl season it's knocking on the door. Where do you predict Michigan will play, and who do you think they will play?
I'm not really sure who they'll play yet. I think we have to see how the rest of today plays out, and as well as all the championship games, see who gets slotted where. I would imagine that they'll get they're out of the New Year's Six now. I think if they were going to get a New Year's Six, if they would have won this game, that's out of the question. So now I'm looking probably at either a Florida Bowl game. I think the Citrus Bowl is probably in the cards.
I haven't played that in a while.
Well, yeah, but you know what? I'm for that because I want to go to Orlando. Disney Plus came out, and I really want to just go and check out Disney now. But regardless, I would say something like the Citrus Bowl would be the option, or the Holiday Bowl in San Diego. I wouldn't imagine that they would get relegated all the way down to the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, but I think that that's a possibility. or the Outback Bowl. So really, you're looking at the 3 Florida Bowls or the Holiday Bowl.
Okay.
That's pretty much it. As far as teams that they could play, I mean, Florida is an option, probably.
Give them Florida. Why
Yeah.
not?
I mean, it's become a rivalry game.
It
and
has
you know,
been a rivalry bowl game.
Yeah,
Who would have thought?
You throw out all the record books when you come to that game.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I'm not really sure who they would match up against. We have to see how the rest of today plays out.
Alrighty, that's it from Isaiah Hull. You can catch him on WolverinesWire.com, powered by USA Today Sports. I'm Danny Rogers. We're signing off from the Big House.